I'm Tammy Hill of Social Media Reporting. We are here with C.W. Zev, founder and CEO of Zev University, an online self-help and personal development firm with a focus on mindset and changing your habits by way of the subconscious mind. How are you today, C.W.?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. How's things going?
Things are going great.
Good.
How are you and your family?
You know, thank God everyone's doing good during the pandemic. No one's ill, sick, so we thank God for that. How about you and your family?
Yes,
Good?
we're good.
Good,
Thank you.
good.
Thank you.
Thanks for asking.
No, you're welcome. I see your reviews on Google
Yes.
are outstanding. Tell us exactly what it is you do here at Zev University.
Yeah, Google is a big platform for launching your business and also getting reviews. And we do a good job here at Zev University. Zev University, actually, let me go back a little bit, because Zev University was actually called Coach 37 when we started the company about 25 years ago. And we started out working with corporate America, and we were actually doing sales training and coaching for the sales executives throughout the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, into Philadelphia. And as time went on, we sort of evolved into what we are today, which is Zev University. It's a high-performance training firm, and we deal with helping people to change their habits so they become better, whether it's in their careers or their life. So we are considered to be what we call a life coaching firm, but we also are an online university. We have online classes, and we do Zoom calls with everything that's going on. So we sort of mix it up with a few things, but again, we started out as a training firm, a sales training firm. Now we evolved into what they call high performance training by way of what we call NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, dealing with the subconscious mind and how you can improve your life if you know how the subconscious mind works by changing your habits on a daily basis.
Right, right. So even during these trying times and during the pandemic, we still can be in contact with you and visually get the training that we need.
Yeah, yes, you can be. Before the pandemic, of course, we were going around doing seminars, workshops, in public venues, also in corporate America. But what happened, actually, we started going live online the end of 2019.
Okay.
We were preparing, starting in the university, then we did a test run. And right before the pandemic, we went live, and it worked out great for us. So we have online classes, we do Zoom calls, we do conference calls.
Nice.
I mean, there's many ways in which you can get in contact with us. I get very passionate about what I do.
Yes.
I've been doing this for a long time, help thousands of people
Yes.
here in the United States and to South America, Canada, and also parts of Europe with our online training. But yes, an individual can change their life if they truly want to change their life. You know, there's an old saying, people saying, well, people don't change. The reality is that people can change if they really want to change. And it's difficult for a person to change if they don't know what's actually controlling their daily habits.
Right.
So we teach them about the two parts of the human mind, not the brain, but the mind. We all know what the brain looks like, but no one really knows what the mind looks like. So the only way we can really give an example of what the mind is like, there's a conscious mind and there's a subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is where all your daily habits, your addictions, your rituals, your beliefs are in the subconscious mind. And what we've learned over the years is that, yes, we can help almost anyone change their life, become a better person, to be more productive, earn more money, lose weight, deal with their careers, relationships,
Right.
if they understand how the human mind works. And that's where our subconscious mind training comes in, which is a 7-step system that we call the focused mind. And it works very well for a lot of people that take the time and look into what we're doing.
So you just actually answered the question that I was going to ask next,
Oh, I'm sorry.
which was, how does the human mind work? So that's amazing,
Yeah.
you know, that you're saying that, because some people, even like myself, you know, sometimes you just don't know how that works and you know, separate
Right.
the two. So thank you for that.
Yeah. To give you a little more example on that, is that we've all been in a situation where you say, well, why do I keep making the same mistake over and over and over again? People want to change. We see it every day in our training. And it's that if they don't know what's in control, which is part of their paradigm, if they don't know what's really controlling their daily habits, it's almost impossible to change. It's just like a computer. If you have a computer at home or a laptop and you have, let's say, QuickBooks on your computer.
Mm-hmm.
That's a program for accounting and keeping your books. So that program can never do something like design or things like that, or graphic design, because it's designed basically for bookkeeping and accounting.
Mm-hmm.
And only way that computer, which is your brain now, can do something different we have to deprogram you and then reprogram you in a more positive and effective way, and that's how we change your habits. So the computer is just like the human brain, and the mind is actually the software.
Nice. Okay. So what are habits and how do they develop?
Good question. People always ask, what exactly is a habit? A habit is really comes from your life experiences, your childhoods, your adult time, your teenage years, and whatever environment that you grew up in,
Mm-hmm.
and the experiences that you had on a daily basis, they becomes your habits, and your habits become your routines. And the reason why, again, most people can't change a habit is because you do it without even thinking. Like, for example, you might get up in the morning and eat a certain meal, and that's because that's the way you was raised in your environment, your family.
Right.
And that meal might not be good for your health, but you do it because you do it without even thinking. It's a habit, becomes a routine. So your subconscious mind, which controls about 95% of all your daily activities, that habit is in your subconscious mind. So you get up in the morning, you brush your teeth, or some people get up in the morning, drink some water, or have a cigarette, smoke, whatever you might do, it becomes a habit. So your habit is something that you do on a daily basis, and you do it over a period of time, and it becomes a habit, and then it turns into a routine, and then eventually it goes into your subconscious mind, and you do it without even thinking about it. So that's basically what habits are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think is the biggest reason most people will not change their lives for the better?
Well, there's actually 3 parts to that, and I'm going to answer one at a time. The 3 are actually fear, the other one is being comfortable, and the other one is just being concerned with what other people will think. And let's talk about fear first. Fear is actually an illusion. It doesn't really exist. It's just something that you deal with based on your past experiences. Mm-hmm. And if you had a past experience in your life that was negative, and that's going to become fear, now that fear is going to stop you from making that change to improve your life. And you go into what we call the comfort zone, and that comfort zone is like your comfort box. We've all heard that before. Step out of your comfort zone, and you become comfortable.
Right.
So that's the great thing about the human mind itself. We can adapt to almost any environment, and once we adapt, then you become comfortable. For example, I remember years ago when I was first starting one of my businesses, and the power went out in our warehouse, and it was out for a period of time. And what happened was that we started using candles. Mm-hmm. And after a day or two, you become comfortable with that situation. We've all been in situations where your car breaks down and you start to catch a taxi or a bus, and after a day or two, you become comfortable, you adjust, make the adjustments.
Right.
So you could become comfortable in a negative situation, a negative relationship, or a job situation. Mm-hmm. You know, you want one job, you apply for, you don't get it, they give you a different job. Maybe it's not the type of income that you wanted initially,
right.
And then after a few months, you become comfortable with that situation, and then you make adjustments with your desires and your lifestyle, whatever you want to do, and then before you know it, it's 5-6 years into that job, and you're still there. You become comfortable, even though you're not really where you want to be, but you become comfortable. And then that fear comes in, and that fear will say, well, be comfortable in this job. You want to take a chance. Right. And another reason why, the third reason, is that people are always concerned about what others may think, what this person might say, what my family might say, what my spouse might say. And you're concerned about their needs and their thoughts and their feelings. What we suggest here at Zev University is that, and sometimes you have to be a little selfish in order to reach your goals in life. You got to say, well, this is what I want to do. This is my dreams. This is my desire, my goals. I got to go out and make them happen. Mm-hmm. And those are the 3 factors that really stop people from really achieving their goals or changing their lives or becoming a better person. And again, it's fear. It's the ability to be comfortable, and then it's the concern of what others may think or say about them, or how they might respond to whatever it is that they're doing.
I believe that to be very true.
Yeah, it's all part of the subconscious mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that can change.
That can change.
If you're willing to change it.
That can change, yes. And by the way, you can change, but what we found out, and this is scientifically proven, it takes an adult person roughly about 65 days to change their life, and that's the reason why we have a 90-day program, because we realize within that 90-day program there's going to be some setbacks, some delays, some distractions. Your schedule might change here and there, but you can actually change your life. But it takes about 65 days for a person to change a bad habit and turn it into a good habit, or replace a bad habit with a good habit.
Okay.
For example, stop smoking and maybe replace that stop smoking with drinking more water. Now the subconscious mind is going to fight against it because you're going against the norm, because it's been programmed to do these things. But if you stick with our training over a 90-day period, you're going to see eventually that desire to maybe stop drinking soda and replace it with water. Eventually that desire to drink the soda will start to fade away, and the desire to drink more water will grow. And that takes about 65 days for an adult to change a habit. It's all scientifically proven. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So how important is your self-image when reaching your goals?
How important is your self-image when reaching your goals? The reality is that your self-image pretty much controls everything that you do. And if people really sit down and think about it, your self-image is your self-confidence, your self-esteem, your self-belief, and your self-desires, wherever they are. And your self-image is actually the first step in our 7-step program called the Focus Mind. We spend about 60 days on helping our clients improve their self-image. Because when you think about it, if you have low self-esteem or you have a negative self-image, that's going to affect your confidence and your belief that you can actually achieve something that you want to achieve, that you can lose the weight or earn more money or improve your relationships or go after that job that you want. If you don't see yourself doing it, then it's not going to happen. So we help our clients deal with their visualization of themselves, meditating, closing their eyes, seeing themselves doing what it is that they're trying to achieve. And that's part of self-image. Back in the 80s during the Olympics, they did an experiment with Olympic athletes. They had some of the athletes visualize what they wanted to achieve by meditating and closing their eyes, and then they had others just write it down and not really visualize it. And what happens is that when you start to visualize yourself doing things that you want to do, the human mind cannot distinguish the difference between reality and fantasy. So they hooked up these sensors to the brains and to the heart and to the nervous system, and they realized when the athletes had their eyes closed, visualizing, someone was track athletes, visualizing themselves running down the track, winning, their heart rate went up, they seen the waves in their brain waves start to be more active, even their muscles were regenerating. Because when you think that you can achieve something and visualize on it, and that's what we teach you here at Zeb University, it can actually manifest into reality, because that's how powerful the human mind is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you may have mentioned this already.
Okay.
But how long does it take for a person to see results with your program?
Yeah. Again, it's about 65 days. It takes an adult about 65 days to change their habits. Now, you're going to start seeing results in about 40 days, somewhere around there. But again, we stretched it out to 90 days because we realized we put you on a strict schedule to do certain things throughout the day. We realized your schedule is going to change. Life gets involved, things happen, and you got to make adjustments in your schedule. So sometimes you might have to take 1 or 2 steps back to take a step forward, but it takes about 65 days for an adult to actually change their habit, to eliminate that bad habit and incorporate a good habit into their life.
So may I ask another question?
Sure.
What inspires you or inspired you to start Zeb University?
Yeah, that's a good question. I've had some success in business over the years, and I always wonder what makes a person tick, what makes you more successful than others. And I like to look at different athletic events like boxing. I'm like, why one boxer they're the same height, the same size, they pretty much built the same. Why one guy is tougher than the other guy, and why one can outlast the other guy? And that really pushed me to get more involved in personal development and self-help, because I feel that every individual should have the desire to be better than they were the day before. So I try to find out what it actually would take a person to become a better person. What would it take for a person to change their life? And we learned throughout all of our training that pretty much everyone wants the same thing in life: happiness, prosperity, and success. Doesn't matter where they're at. They could be in Mexico, Europe, Africa. Everyone wants happiness, prosperity, and success. So how can we get there? How can we reach that? We reach that by understanding that whatever you want to manifest in your life on a physical plane must first start up here in the mind. And that's what really drew me to being what we call a life coach or an advisor, and using what we call NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, a certain way of thinking to become a better person every day, exercise every day, drink more water every day. And we tell our clients it's not really about the client themselves, especially if they have a family. It's about your family. You want to be around as long as you possibly can to provide and help and protect your family. So this is one of our passions. This is, as you can see, the way I speak, I get very, very passionate about it. It's exciting to see someone go from point A, and in 90 days they're at point B, and before they might have tried it and they realized, wow, damn, the program does work. I can change my life. I can improve myself. I can go out and earn more money. I can go out and improve my relationships, or lose weight, or just become a better person, feel better about myself. And it's all about the transfer of human energy between two people. And we all just want, with everything going on these days, we want to be as positive as we possibly can, because there's a lot of negativity out there. Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
So how important is having a life coach?
How important is having a life coach? When someone asks me that question, I always say, well, how important is your life to you? Because we only get one shot at it, one time around, that's it. So if you cherish your life and you want to achieve your goals, you want to be the best person you possibly can, we got to look at it this way. Most people don't think about it. Life is a journey that is unknown. We don't know what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. So a life coach is just as important as if you want to look at a professional athlete. For example, a tennis player. Everyone that's playing tennis professionally, they've probably been playing since they were a small child. And they know exactly what to do. They know how to hit the ball, hit their forearm, back arm, how to serve, things like that. But the way the human mind works, we can easily be off track without even knowing it, because it's all about habits. And once your habit goes into your subconscious mind, you do it without even thinking. So if you're a tennis player and you're hitting the ball the wrong way, you think you're hitting it the right way. But as a coach looking from the outside in, they can see that you're doing things the wrong way. And that's just like a life coach. A life coach can come in and advise you and analyze your performance and say, you should do it this way if you want to get to this particular goal, or this dream, or this desire. And that's the importance of having a life coach. Someone that's looking at your life from the outside in can analyze things from a different perspective and see things that the individual just can't see, because they assume that they're doing it the right way because they've been doing it that way for so many years, and that becomes a habit. And that's why a life coach is so important, to help you change your habits and setting goals and things like that, making sure you stay on track. Because it's easy in this society with everything going on, social media and entertainment, this and that, you can easily find yourself off track. But a life coach is there to get you on track and to keep you on track and to hold you accountable, which is actually one of our steps, self-accountability and responsibility in our 7-step program. So we hold you accountable and responsible for your actions on a daily, monthly, weekly, annual basis to make sure that you reach your goals. That's the importance of having a life coach.
Okay, so Mr. Zev, thank you for your time and giving me the opportunity to speak with you.
Thank you.
I hope this interview changed many lives, and jump on board and join Zev University.
Yes.
I think you're awesome.
Thank you.
And just seeing the results of helping others just inspires me to want to be better myself.
Oh,
So I want to thank you.
yeah. Thanks for having me. Thanks for your time. We appreciate it.